Where's the?
I feel like when it goes live, we're just there. I should go.
Just do the whole. Our interweb froze up and.
That's what we should do. Each time we should make these odd little looks.
It's kind of the story of my life, so maybe we shouldn't. Happy Blue Monday, ladies. You are aware that this is Blue Monday.
No.
Have you? Oh, so the third Monday in January is the most depressing day of the whole year. Yay!
According to the Mercury retrograde.
No, it's not. It's what this time it's not astrological. This is a psychological thing. And it's because it's after Christmas and we've all just sort of given up. So it's nice to be among your smiling faces again. And we've got people that care. Hello, people that care. Yay.
Here I had a really productive day.
Oh, what'd you do?
So I went about town putting out flyers and asking for raffles and donations and picking up things for You Matter.
That's coming up fast.
Yeah.
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 I ain't ready.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the only 3 days left that I have to get anything done. So
you got this. You got this. Because your own personal life and your work life don't matter. The beard competition matters.
Well,
and you matter, but the other things don't matter.
Yeah, tell that to my life. I guess I'll play our introduction. So
yes.
Here we go, hopefully. I always want to jam.
I just love that music is so good, right?
That's what I do on stage.
So it's not just Blue Monday, it's Red Monday. So just FYI, give me another hour, things could get crazy. So I might just sit here and nod. That might be for the best for everybody.
Well, I'm jealous because, no red or Michelob or, any of that. My Monday. I just had some hot chocolate. Does that count?
I'm going to have a cigar.
I haven't had a cigar yet, but it's probably on the list.
Smart.
So, well, I guess we should introduce ourselves. We always forget to do that, so.
They should know us by now. We're interweb famous. Come on. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm Tisha Klinkenbeard, president of the Craft Whisker Club. Yeah, that way.
Okay, and then
Summer VP of the Craft Whisker Club, president of the Southwest region of Beard Mohawk, and a member of Talking Beards.
You guys are fancy.
We're fancy. We're hoeing.
And I'm Christine from the Vancouver Facial Hair Club, and that's all you need to know. Okay.
Hello, Leslie. I think Leslie's going to be here this weekend. So,
Leslie, which category are you going to be in? Because I'm nosy. And you're right. Like, they're starting in just a few minutes. So...
Well, let's see. Since we last talked, that was the first Monday of January. What have you guys been up to?
Oh, I've been working like a crazy person. I've got a theater show that's opening on Wednesday that I've been doing a bunch of wigs and mustaches for. So that's my life. So my little hands are tired. And yeah, hopefully everything will be done in time for opening. There's a rule, if it's not done by opening, like it doesn't matter. That's the cutoff date. So just pray for me for the next 48 hours. That's all.
I got you.
Good
How about you guys? What have you done?
Me?
Sure. Just sitting there looking pretty for 2 weeks? Come on. Okay.
I'm trying to think.
She was busy.
I
Or
mean,
she doesn't tell.
Well, we don't want to hear about you getting busy. We want to hear about you being busy. There's a difference.
I've been busy. I've just been busy. My mom had 2 doctor's appointments. I'm like, how much am I gonna divulge here?
Well, see, as you can tell, I've been working on You Matter stuff and trying to get the best care possible for my step pop, dealing with all of the cripples around that. So I'm looking forward to some bearding love this weekend, immensely. And
please give Tisha an extra hug if you see her. So
yes.
she deserves it. She's earned it by now.
So I think that's it. I've been working too. I picked up some extra projects and getting busy with that, and moving into a slightly different area of where I'm working. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I think that's all I've been doing. So, but I'm ready for this weekend, and for everybody coming in this weekend, please have safe travels. Just a quick pre-party at Post Oak Bar and Grill on Friday night. We'll be around here all day Friday. I'm taking the day off. And if you don't know how to get to our house or have the address, messages. And then Saturday, the doors open to the public at 12. And then registration starts at 12. It'll go on until about 1:45. But for the Craft Whisker Battle Live, it'll only go until about 12:45. That way you have time to get everybody on the stage with their boxes and ready to go. And then
okay, so the registration for that goes until 12:45, and then it starts at 1?
It does.
Okay.
Yep.
And do people sign up in advance for that, or have they already registered, or is it a free-for-all at the door?
It's a free-for-all at the door, first 10 people. So.
Oh, there's going to be fisticuffs. Bring out the bandages. People are going to want in on that. They're going to be throwing elbows. It's going to be good times.
That's okay. I'm up for it. You have no idea.
Now I'm scared. Now I'm glad I'm staying home.
I can shoot peeking toes. So and then the battle is the first category to be judged, and so then I'll kick off from there. So, and I was kind of honored to ask to take Silky's place as one of the judges, because he couldn't make it out of England, or he can make it out of England, but just not to the U.S. So let's see. For
the United States, you cannot fly into, but you can walk across the border without a vaccine. Whatever.
Yeah. And they, of course, renewed the policy January 8th. So it was
ridiculous. Yes, please say it.
So.
Well, they couldn't have found anyone better. You're going to do a fabulous job. I can see in your eyes that judging look, that look of judgment. You're ready.
So
and it's so perfect that that's our topic today.
What pantry items should we pack for the battle? You do not have to pack scissors, a glue gun, or glue sticks.
Unless you want to use your own glue gun.
Yeah, unless you want your own.
Your lucky glue gun.
Bring whatever
You
you
can-
want.
You can bring like ribbons, that kind of stuff, but no super glue, no glitter, and nothing that would take more than 5 minutes or less to clean up off the floor. Because we do have to break it down and get the stage cleared ASAP. So,
Well, what if they wanted to bring, say, peanut butter or spray cheese to use as an adhesive instead of glue? Would you recommend that?
I'll bring it for them.
Okay.
Actually, I threw ours away.
I'm going to say is good luck because that shit's, well, the peanut butter wasn't too bad, but it can be careful because it can be a little too oily.
It was really oily at first, but mine's held up. Like, yeah, it's all still together. I touched it the other day. I'm going to hang it up.
I took mine apart for the spatulas. So
I didn't use my spatulas. I got them packed up to use too.
Fancy.
Oh, man.
So yeah,
I don't think so.
So I finished our battle trophies yesterday. Yep. So those are ready. All the bags are ready. I've got name tents where you can write your name, who you are. And I'm making sure all the table setup's going to work with the electric this next few days. So, but well, since we were on the topic of judging, tonight we have 3 special people in the bearding world. And everybody should know them. And one of them's been on our show a couple of times. But so I guess we should just bring them in one by one and let them introduce themselves. But while we're doing that, you guys start thinking about all the questions about judging that you can as we bring them in. So I'm going to just go down here on the stream. So we have Mr. Andrew Cole. Andrew, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Andrew Cole, Vancouver Facial Hair Club. Partners that lady. Well, we're almost neighbors.
So how long have you been bearding, Andrew?
I had a goatee when I was 15, and then I shaved when I was 17, and I didn't shave for another 20 years. And then I started doing November 2010. And so I kind of did mustaches off and on, and then found the bearding community kind of like 2016, and then just was hooked. So it kind of.
So, do you live closer to the ER than Christine does?
Nobody lives closer to the ER than me. I can throw a stone at the ER.
Sorry, I had to ask that because we all know that Christine lives close to the ER. So
I have a fire hall just the next block over. So.
We are safety conscious people. There's actually a fire hall every 2 blocks because we don't believe in fire in Canada. We suppress it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, the whole city burned down right off the bat, like most cities. Rebuilt it. They're like, well, let's put some safety in.
Interesting. We learn something new every week. All right.
Knowing I shouldn't be laughing, I'm so sorry.
All right, let's bring on our next guest. Everybody knows him as Taxi Phil. So,
hey, how's everybody today?
Woo!
Woo-hoo.
And we don't have fire halls. We have fire departments.
Oh.
And I don't live close to one.
You do not live close to one?
No.
Or an ER.
Nor an ER. I'm there quite often, but I don't live near one. With 5 grandsons and an older mother, we go to ER quite a bit.
So tell us a little about yourself, Taxi Phil.
I am Taxi Phil. I am the president and founder of the Cincinnati Beard Barons. We've been a club since 2012. I've been bearding probably since 2010 or 2009. I started growing my mustache in 1988. I was a doorman at a local hotel, and it looked right with the job, the hat, the uniform. I said, hey, let me grow this thing. And the general manager thought it was a great idea, so I started growing it, and I've had it ever since. And I am now the vice president of the North American Charitable Bearding and Mustache Alliance.
Well, you're one of them. You're one of 4 of them.
That's right,
Yes.
along with you.
Yeah.
You know, we are kind of impotent. You know, so
We potent, yeah.
yeah, we's impotent. So that's about it on me. Been married to my lovely Mrs. Jones, be 41 years into the month.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, we had our 40th last year, had a big party here in town. We had probably close to, honey, what do you think was there? Probably 100 people?
I was not invited to that.
Yeah.
I don't remember being invited to that.
I thought I invited all of you because there was a lot of bearding folks there. It was a great time. It was the same place we have our competition every year. We had it there. So it turned out really good.
Yeah. All right. And now our third lady who's been on here quite a few times before. Never get tired of seeing her. Miss Courtney Graham. Courtney, you want to introduce yourself?
I am Courtney Graham. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I do appreciate that you guys keep asking me to come back. It makes me feel good. So I like everything that you guys do, and I like being a part of it. So,
well, welcome. So let's see. We haven't had too many questions yet, but what we wanted to bring everybody to talk about is we always get questions on judging, how to judge, what you're looking for, what you don't want to see. I think a lot of questions we have gotten are based on like the craft categories, but we also like to include everyone else in the world and what you're looking for with the different bearding categories in general. And I have another question as an add-on later, but I'm going to wait on that one. So, how do we want to start off?
Could we ask the gentleman first, because they are not, well, actually Andrew has done craft beards of his own. So could we start with Phil, finding out what he is looking for, and then go to Andrew, and then Courtney can smarten us all up after that.
Well, that was one of the main things I was concerned with, is what to look for. And usually, luckily, we'll have a lady judge in the panel whenever we're judging, and we can ask them, hey, is that right? You know, our main thing is, my question is, how's it supposed to be affixed to the face? Now, I know that the natural beard is supposed to look natural, and it's supposed to be glued to the face. Am I correct with that?
It does not have to be glued.
Okay.
But
so if
I don't glue mine.
Difference between like how the realistic lays on the face versus how the creative lays on the face. Is that how you're talking?
Correct. Because I know, like with the creative, there are different ways they hang. They put them on. You know, I don't know what's the proper way, what's the improper way.
Right.
You know, that was one of my main questions. You know, and I always ask. I know a lot of it gets irritated. Is how long did it take you to make it? I ain't judging you on that. You know, you might. I know your beard may not be very good, but it took you 14 hours to make it. You might have one that's excellent, and it took you 75 minutes. You know, I just ask that as a question. You know, and I also always ask if you did it yourself. You know,
that's fair.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always interested in that. I want to know, even with the kids, if you got a kids category, even if they didn't do it themselves, I like for them to have done it with their parent. I like for them to have had some amount of work into it. So that's my deal with the kids. I'm really all about you doing your work.
Yeah, I mean that's my main concern is, you know, like, is how is it supposed to be attached properly, so we can look at somebody and go, hey, that ain't right. You know.
Okay, so you're wanting our opinion on it, or how
yeah, I would like y'all's opinion. I think that would be very helpful.
For me,
all
how
of us
I
in the
judge,
community.
I think I'm probably the newest. But what I do, And then, yeah, barely. But when I judge and when I make mine to wear, I try not to have it visible how it is attached. So if you're just looking at it, you wouldn't see all of how it's up into a headpiece or whatever. I almost always wear a wig, even if I do realistic, honestly, because I just kind of like to wear wigs sometimes. But I like it to be the shape of a beard, not necessarily like squared off. Like if you do a squared off design, I think you should taper it to look like a beard.
Okay.
I try to do mine, and what I look at is to see if it goes with the face versus just sitting straight on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, and then I look to see if the mustache is attached or not attached, and I really want to be able to see that there's a difference. Like I want to be able to see your mouth. I know sometimes it doesn't line up just because we all know sometimes it just doesn't line up. But to make something go like this and just go straight down and call it a full beard, I don't think so. I think if you don't see your mouth or see a separation where it's a mustache and a beard, then I think just move it down and make a whaler out of it.
Okay.
That's my take on it. I don't know
Okay.
what else's is.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want to see how it's on your head. If you have to wear a wig or a hat or fancy curls in your hair or whatever, I like it to look like a beard too. You know, there's some ways it doesn't, and you know, I know some of mine. I've seen some that I'm like, that does not look like a beard, but other judges think that it does.
I thought that too. It's like it's not an object contest; it's a beard contest. It needs to resemble a beard.
Thank
I'm real big on that. So.
But I have judged with people because I know what Tisha's had a couple, and we've seen a couple. And I might have some that they didn't look like a beard to start with. Mm-hmm. They were more squared off because the concept you were going through, and that's going to be with the creative ones. The concept we were going for, it required like a square look. But I think what puts that extra effort into it is when you have to do some shaping to it. So
I'm going to jump in and say that much like all facial hair is valid, all craft beards are valid. And I think we all support that.
Absolutely.
But yes, if you've got a bunch of people to judge on and you're looking to see what elevates it, then I would definitely say start narrowing it down by, is it more beard-like? Are you disguising how it's put on? And then just the crafting ability, like, is it beautifully made? I always go back to the apples and how they're beautifully built on the inside, even though you never see it. So a really beautiful craft beard, you shouldn't be able to see the spider webs from the glue gun. It's
right. Okay. I mean, I'm just amazed personally that as long as I've been doing this, how much it's advanced from when it first started. When the Whiskerinas first started, because it wasn't Whiskerinas yet, actually. It was just, ladies out there doing it. And I mean, it was just basic, here and there. Now it's just, you guys have taken it to the next level. There's no question about it, with the bells and the whistles and the sirens and everything else. It's just amazing to sit there. And to judge that category is a bitch.
It is.
You sit there and go, the work they've all put into it. They've all worked very hard to bring what they have.
For sure.
And it was all their imagination and everything. And you got to pick out the best one of that bunch. You're like, damn, man. Come on, help me out over here. But
right.
Yeah, so.
Well, technical, I think you had a good, when I stepped up to you at Harry Holidays and you were like, I didn't know that's who you were.
No.
And I was like, well, that means I've done a pretty good
job.
Yeah,
I had no clue who you were, And yeah, I mean, that's to me, and there's a lot of you that Holly, there's a lot of times I have no idea who the hell Holly is,
Wow.
And I've known Holly forever. You know, I'm like, my wife will say, Phil, that's holly. No, it ain't. She goes, yeah, it is. I'm like, holy crap, that is holly.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, just still one of my favorite that I saw was in Greensboro, North Carolina, years ago. It came in, it was basic, it was simple. It was all copper tubing, all curled up to look like a still. And she walked up on the stage. She sat down 5 shot glasses in front of the judges, and she poured a whiskey out of her beard. You win. You can pour whiskey out of your beard, you win. That's all there is to it. It was, I mean, it was just so cool watching her do that.
So somebody did that in Tennessee this past September, I think it was
one of the beard mobs.
At a beard mob, Tennessee. I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
But there was somebody.
Andrew Orton's wife.
I think you're right.
Cindy?
You're right. Yes, I think that's exactly who it was, actually.
Okay.
But then, so that's what I think is like when the person that you saw do it, it didn't look anything like the way Cindy did it. Crystal Davis did the Paps with the keg and poured out the beer on stage. So I think that's amazing how like it's the same concept, but it's conducted and created so many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. You know, now one of the ladies at Worlds in Austin did the keg.
I think that was Crystal Davis.
That's Crystal.
Yeah, that was Crystal. Okay, I couldn't remember which one it is. But yeah, that was amazing watching that. You know.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, see, now the next time I do realistic, I'm just going to dip my beard in whiskey and then just squeeze it out.
There you go. There you go.
Best of both worlds.
So
okay, Stone said, do you deduct points if there's no mustache? Not necessarily. I don't, because I think sometimes some beards, like for a creative one, I think it's better without a mustache. There's a lot of times a mustache takes away from the whole beauty of the beard, in my opinion. So I don't personally.
Okay.
Well, and also the craft beard should hang without you having to touch it and readjust it all the time.
That's the other question I have for you. You shouldn't have to hold it or walk. Yeah.
No. So yeah, if you have a mustache that is doing you dirty and you have to keep touching it up, maybe it's time to just let it go.
Okay,
Just
so my
stay
question
there.
on that, I'll ask the other judges. When do you start judging a whiskerina for making adjustments, etc.? Holding on their mustache until the last minute because sometimes it's a sweaty event or whatever. However it may be, when do you judge the whiskerina, and is it the same as when you judge the guys?
Yeah, it is the same. I usually do it while you're standing in line. Is when I start.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, if I see a guy out there, if I see a style mustache guy out there doing all this and playing with it while he's in line, then I'm not deducting anything. I'm just watching. Going out, dude. You should have had it right already. You know. Right. But now with the hold, especially with some of the beards you guys create are so heavy. You know, is I'll wait till you come up on the stage. If it's right when you walk by me, then that's fine. You know, but like I start judging early. You know, when I see them line up over there,
right?
And I won't lie to anybody. I mean, I'll pick out who I think is the best in that category. Right, what I see from the beginning, and go, okay, that's the standard I'm looking for. You know, you got to beat that individual right there. You know,
right.
And when they come up in front of you, a lot of them do beat them. You know, when they get close, you get a good look at it and stuff.
Right. But that's your initial starting point.
Yeah, my initial starting point is with everybody is standing in line. You know, and we've all been doing this long enough that if X person is going to be there. But I'll just use when Jason Colley was freestyling. You know, if you knew Jason Colley was in the room, you knew who they had that could beat him.
Right.
You know? I mean, because Jason was one of the best there ever was. You know, but I mean, you just, like I said, I mean, I start judging when they're in line, lined up over here, to the side, is when I start looking at people.
So I have one of these questions. I have an opinion on this, but I'm really curious. do you deduct points if they didn't make it themselves? And I'm always curious. I always hate to say deduct, but do you bump them out of the top?
I think it's the worst when someone sits up there and says how like their husband helped or their, it's like, well, wait, then you didn't make that, then it's not really your win or your beard. So
Right.
I haven't really come across that very much. It's usually people take pretty good pride in.
Yeah, you don't hear it too much.
Oh no, I heard a whole conversation where you can actually buy realistic beards at a store.
Yes, you
That
can.
blew my hair back. And when I heard these girls talking about it, I was like, I will never compete against y'all in that category. I'll go into the other category, but I'm not going to compete against something that is bought.
Well, see, what
I
you're
think
talking
you can
about.
tell it's store bought.
This is interesting, though, about somebody else making your facial hair, because Mother Hackman is coming with me to Germany to compete, and that blind lady, God bless, will not be able to make her own mustache, and I shall be
That's a
with
whole
these
different
hands
situation.
making her.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I totally respect that. If my mom was to do it, same thing. But that's exactly why I moved out of that category. I fully intended on doing that category, and out of respect, because oh my God, I don't. Am I going to be up there going, Mampa, get out?
you can beat Mama Hackman. It's okay. She doesn't have a lot. She doesn't have skin in the game. It's okay.
The coolest
So
thing.
Fabs has been doing a lot of judging this year, and he said if it was craft or freestyle, if somebody helped, he, puts a little lower. And I know in freestyle for the men's, it happens a lot.
Yep.
And I personally, I want to know, did you do it? Because there's a difference when you're trying to do something on the we side versus the you side. And when you're trying to do something on the we side, to me, it's 10 times more difficult than somebody standing there fixing it for you. So I'm a huge, if you don't do a freestyle yourself, somebody can have a crappy freestyle they did themselves, and I'm more excited about their beard than this perfect one that someone else did for you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I believe
The way I look at it is, let's say you two are both up on stage. You both got perfect beards, and I'm going to decide who's first and second. You made yours. Somebody else made yours. You're going first. Whoever made their own. I don't actually deduct points. Or add points.
I don't
I'm
really
just like, if it comes down to tick or tat over there, whoever did themselves. And there's a lot of guys out there, and Anthony will tell you, that don't style their own stashes. They have their wife or somebody style their stash for them, because a lot of them at the company, they don't do them every day like we do.
Right.
But I do a few of them that they don't anymore, because I jumped on them about it. I said, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ain't doing your own, you ain't gonna get nothing from me. And you need to learn to do it. It's not that hard. Craft beers are very, very difficult. There's no question about it. Because I have no skills. But I'm just, you should do your own. Period.
Now,
Thinking
about the craft beards, does size matter? Do you look for something that is spectacular, that is overwhelming, that has moving parts, which we know is something that people do? They can have moving parts. They can have
I want
smoke. They
Courtney
can have
to answer this one. Can I say Courtney? Answer this one. I know how Courtney feels about it, so I'm wondering.
Well, it just depends. I mean, really, it's so hard to say that with the craft beard, because a small one could be just as epic and just as efficient as one down to the floor. Like if, you go to, I don't think I've ever been at a beard comp where there's not a flower beard. Okay. So, it's like, I've seen the flower beard done so many different ways or whatever. And, some of them can be done really well, where others it's like, wow, I've never seen it done like that before. And that's really cool, but it's small and efficient. It just kind of depends. I guess it has to have that wow factor, So I guess the size doesn't matter to me. It's how you use it.
And I like movement. I know that Courtney and I agree in that aspect too. I would like to see it move, but I also have
Moving parts or
appreciation
moving
for-
like a beard?
Well, yes, but I was really talking about moving like a beard. But you know, like
Okay.
business beards, business beards don't really move either. So you've got also that static part, you know, if you're going for that trim look. So you've got kind of both sides of that equation.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like is if you can see the underside or the back of it, that actually is worked into it as well. Just not like cardboard or, you know,
Or net.
a green sheet or something. Yeah, that there's
like when the back mimics some of the front, like when it's kind of carried around where you
like
don't.
if you can't see the back of it, then by all means just have it plain.
Right.
But if it's going to show,
it's going to show. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have that same feeling. Like I think it should be incorporated. You shouldn't just see.
I mean, I would never ask you to do this, you know, like the men's beards do. But if, like you
But
said,
you should. You should. Why not? I mean, Courtney's beard that she won Great American with, my God, that thing, you could, from behind, from under, from any direction, you could have flown a drone around her and it was still impeccable from everywhere.
But that was realistic.
Thank you.
No, that was
No.
creative.
said
was it
Utah
creative?
and it had like
Yeah,
a
because I did the
gondola.
back too because I thought it's so big you can see the back. I better put something back there too.
Okay.
You know.
That's how it ought
Well,
to
and
be.
you didn't just put something back there. It's not like you just painted one tree. It was a whole diorama back there. It was a goddamn work of art. Yes, I said
Aw.
GD because that's what it was. And there's no reason why every beard can't be that good. Everybody should be Courtney. That's all I'm saying.
Or something.
Yeah, totally.
Well, then she wouldn't be the best.
Yeah. I do try to shake it up to where you guys don't know what I'm gonna do. So
You are
anyway.
tricky. You are
Yeah.
very tricky. You do all three.
Okay,
Like
so
all
this
six.
question has been asked a lot as well. This is the
Amazing
beard costume issue.
costume against a moderate beard and amazing costume. Honest to God, okay, y'all know I like to dress up. I really just like to dress up, but it is beard first. I don't really care what you're. I don't want to be beat by a costume. I'll get beat by a beard or a mustache all day long, but I don't want to be beat by an idea or a costume because then that sucks.
I agree too. And I came from, back when we were all just doing it in Levi's and a t-shirt, so to me, that's just like an extra perk. Like if it came maybe down to 2 beards, I was trying to decide the costume may help a little bit, but not much really. I mean, if the beard blows me away, then that's who wins,
I happen to dress for every competition I go, and I have different ones that I wear. One of the things Andrew will tell you, the Style Stash group, we're dapper. We show up dapper, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's part of the deal. The beards and the mustache should be first, no question about it. But I'm going to sit there if the beard, hear it again, if it's close, and one person took the time and the energy to come and get ready for this thing and be a professional about it, and a guy walks up with flip flops, and a pair of cutoffs and a tank shirt. I'm gonna go with the guy that became professional.
Right.
So I have a question.
Right,
I've done a couple of beards where I wore black clothes because I wanted the beard to
pop.
be it. That's what I wanted.
Yeah,
I didn't
stands out.
care.
I think the girls,
that's what I do too.
and then even the freestylers, they dress to incorporate or maybe to tell the whole story. The guys that just have a beard or even a styled stash, they're showing off their beard and their styled stash. We as the women and as the freestylers,
Right, it's part of the deal.
we're telling a story.
Yeah.
Like
You come as Cinderella, you're supposed to be in the gown. You're going a nun or a priest. You're supposed to look like a nun or a priest.
Right.
I
That's
agree 100%.
But I still think it goes to you judge the beard first.
Correct.
Oh,
And
yeah.
how it's incorporated with how the whole outfit together works.
Goes together. Yep.
For me in creative, that's what I look at. How the whole outfit together works.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the first couple comps I went to Whisker Wars, and I was pretty disappointed because the cats that won were all part of the crew. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were the guys that were traveling with the show. And I said, I'm going to stand. I'm going to be different next time. I'm going to stand out. I'm letting you know I'm in the house.
Right.
And that's when I started with the tuxedos, and with a styled mustache, the tuxedo, especially, everybody, you're the Monopoly man, when you walk in, you're Mr. Peanut when you walk in, and I got lucky, and one of my regular customers, he owned a theatrical supply company, and he supplied all the outfits and stuff for the plays and stuff here in the area. And he had thousands of costumes. He just died not too long ago. And he said, okay, Phil, here's the deal. You drive me to the bar on Wednesdays and Saturdays and bring me home. I'll give you the costume to wear that week, whenever, you need it, And right before he passed, he says, come pick up what you want, and you get to keep the ones that you need,
Wow.
But great guy. The stuff he had was unbelievable. It was amazing. So I got lucky there that I had something to choose from,
So I'm going to go back to this question. You had it pulled up, Summer. But of the three, of any of y'all, do you ask a guy to raise his beard? And why, if you say yes?
I do.
What are you looking at, Courtney?
I'm just looking at girth, and do they like shave it down there? Some people do. I don't know why they do it, but they shave it underneath there. So just looking for girth, I guess. How far back does it go? Like to me, like when you're judging a natural category, that's what I want is natural. Like I don't want them to shave it right here. I want to see how it's natural. So to me, when you shave anywhere, that's not a natural beard, and I score a little bit lower. So that's just my opinion. That's not natural, because if you're grooming it, then it's a groom beard, kind of stuff. So I just like to make sure, like, that is really what it is, and you always see a different color underneath, so it's kind of cool.
That's usually what it is. It's a natural category.
Size doesn't matter for craft beards, John. But for real beards, girth always matters.
Yeah, I like to see if they shaved or not. That's really
Andrew,
that's where the thickness comes from.
I say, the neckline, because some gentlemen, it doesn't stop.
You're right.
His hair, beard hair, kind of.
And I think that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
But is that personal preference, or is that judge?
Say it again. Am I supposed to be talking?
Yeah. Say what you said. You were ready to answer the question.
What was the question? I'm so confused.
Me too.
Back to what Phil was talking about. If you're dressed up and you put some attention into it, you kind of just carry yourself a little more. Attitude affects how you present.
Oh, and what about the people who come across while they have this most amazing beard or goatee, or and they braid it while they're being judged?
That's freestyle.
I think it's too hard to judge it when it's braided, just because you don't know what's going on. So, because like I know when I'm looking at a dude's beard, I look at can I see through his shirt through it, that kind of stuff. Like, so when it's in a braid, you can't see anything. So
that would be the freestyle category, or the style category. That wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's more like style.
Yeah.
Oh, I had another question. I forgot.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like, wait, what are we talking about?
I forget a lot.
On a realistic, what do y'all look for on a realistic beard? We talked a lot about the craft beards, but like, I'm curious, like what is looked for on a realistic? Because I know what I build for, but I don't know what is looked for.
I want to look like a real beard. that I can't tell the difference. You know,
So what does that mean? Like, are you talking color wise?
Well, that and the way that it's attached and the way that it hangs, you know, and that I don't know who the hell you are, you know, because you come out looking like a dude, and I'm like, holy crap.
Okay, so when you see a realistic, you would prefer the whole realistic towards the dude look?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's more like a real beard. Like you said, the shape, you know, it should be rounded at the bottom and stuff like a real beard would be, you know, and hangs like a real beard should be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Or
size?
like Christine mentioned too, you don't want to see the glue and all that. You know.
Right. Exactly.
When you see a realistic beard, do you want it to be? Is it better if it's oversized and exaggerated, or should it be like, I clocked you? You look like that's grown out of your face.
That's what it should look like.
Okay.
In my opinion, it should look just like it comes out of your face. You
Yeah,
know,
like Christine,
again,
like
yours
yours are never real big, but they're like wow, you know. So
you know,
yeah.
Right.
You know, a nice tight beard, you know, good looking, nice tight beard can beat a big old beard. This is how I tell people that don't compete is what we do. It's a dog show. Just because you got the biggest San Bernard doesn't mean you got the best San Bernard. You know, there's standards that you go by. You know, I mean, just because it's a big old huge beard and hanging all the way down to their knees doesn't mean it's better than the guy that's coming right down the middle of his chest. You know, it's everything combined. But you know, there's that's how I tell people. You know that they've never done this before. It's like a dog show.
Yeah,
you
that's a good analogy.
Well, when we had our comp in October, our best in show was a gentleman who was the under 4-inch because he just was impeccable for his category, just the whole presentation. And I think people get discouraged when it's always the freestyler or the whiskerina that wins best in show. I think that there probably should be more people in regular categories who feel like they really have a shot at best in show for being impeccable in their category.
Right.
I have an opinion about that too. I don't necessarily think women should win best in show. I think we're kind of there as a side thing, you know, and I won best show. I'm not, you know, I definitely appreciate, but I always thought, man, you know, these guys, like, this is their life. This is their beard. We just crafted this to wear here to help raise money for charity and stuff like that. Like, we just took someone else's opportunity away, like a 4-inch beard guy, you know, or something like that. I have mixed feelings about women winning best in show.
For Worlds, they last time and this time they have women's and men's best in show.
Yeah,
sort of
see, if they did something like that, I think that'd be perfect. Yeah,
I agree.
Because men get so upset. You hear comments after, and people get really upset, you know. And I don't ever want to be a cause for upset, you know.
Foul stashes don't walk with best in show very often at all. You know,
I
got lucky, got it once. You got it one. Have you got one?
I got one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one, and Patrick Fetty's got one. And Patrick Fetty, you can't. When he's on, he's on.
Well, and this year's nationals was
a mustache.
Was a mustache.
Did he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This year.
And actually, the women's in Belgium best in show was a mustache.
Was it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also don't think the best beard should be the best in show. It's who puts on the
Am
best.
I wrong, Hartman?
Oh.
No, you are correct.
Yeah,
I just dispute that.
Sorry,
it wasn't much of a mustache. That's all I'm saying. Yes, 4 years later, I hold a grudge.
Okay, so
go ahead.
This is the question I had earlier, but I wasn't going to ask yet, and we only have 10 minutes left. But best in show. Is it the best beard in the show? Are we judging off something totally different?
I judge
is it the best of the first places, even.
No, I don't think even all the first places should be the best in show. It's who put on the best show. Who showed up and put on the best
showman more than a best
showmanship. That's why it's called best in show.
Okay, are you talking best showmanship on stage?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I am like on stage. I cannot put on a show for y'all. Phil, you saw me.
You did a great job.
I am so.
You were one of the best MCs I've seen in a long time. After the first 5 minutes, you had that shit down. It was a piece of cake. It's easy.
But that was my people in the bar that I frequented.
Yeah.
It's completely different. Like when I went to Sacramento and I didn't know really any of those people, I was like,
yeah, I mean, just my opinion. It's the person that puts on the best, like male, female, kid who puts on the best show. You know, that comes out and represents that category. Like I said, they may not have had the biggest or best, but they put on everything went perfect, and that's just my opinion. You know.
Well, I've had some people who feel that they should win Best in Show because they participated in the most amount of categories. So therefore they.
I didn't get Best in Show. I did 9 categories.
Oh yeah, you've done like ridiculous.
I came in with a freestyle. Then I went over 12. Then I went 8 to 12. I went all the way down to the stash. I did the goatees. I did a partial freestyle. You know,
in the same show.
Yeah. I changed outfits for each one of them too.
Wow.
So, but Andrew, what is your thought?
I like how each club does their own. So, you know, this club does it a certain way. I think the first places out of each of them, because they've already beaten everybody in that category, should be up for Best in Show. And then it's who represents their category the best. So like if it is a business beard, but that's a fantastic business beard, you got it.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be whoever got the highest scores. You know, this guy got you know, he got perfect 10s all the way across. There's only 2 people in his category. You know, the guy over here had 12 in his category.
Whenever they go, okay, Best in Show, they got perfect 10s. Well, they didn't compete against anybody versus
And now like an hour,
the judges collectively get together and decide.
An hour, an independent individual does it.
Oh, Courtney?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just go off, who blew me away, who I felt like kind of scored the highest. And just basically what I personally like the best. Like, you know, I'm always looking for a really nice beard, you know, something that wears well, it fits that guy's face well, you know, just stuff like that. Because some dudes, it's like, whoa, you shouldn't have a beard, or you know, when they shave it, it's like, whoa, grow your beard back. So it has to fit. It has to fit that person.
Everybody can't wear a long beard.
No.
My boobs get in the way. I gotta keep it short.
I know we got 6 minutes left now, but I got to bring this one up too. Miss Controversial Me. The most important aspect of judging is having judges who know what they look for. To me, the second and equitable part of that is the integrity of the judge.
Yes, 100%.
Man, if you can't be impartial, just recuse. Like, I've asked people, why have you not judged? Like, you've been doing this for a long time, and they said, I've been asked, I cannot be impartial. I have so much respect for you if you just say, no, I cannot be impartial. Like,
it is hard. And when one of your friends walk up, I find that I'm a little bit harsher with my friend, you know, just because they're my friend, and I wouldn't want someone to think that I don't know. So I may give a point lower than I would have, just because, you know, you don't want people to think that. And then even when, you know, you vote one way, like at the end of the day, like when categories and all the winners are coming up, it's like, whoa, I scored that dude way low, or, you know, and then I guess they thought it was great. Like, that's what's great about a whole table of people, is you don't know how it's going to go, you know, because the way I thought some things were going to go were completely opposite when they were calling the winners. It's like, oh, wow, that's not how I voted at all. So
I get that a lot.
It depends.
Yeah, Jim Jones and Timmy Whiteshoes hate it when I'm judging, because they know they know I'm going to be pickier on them. You know, they know I know what they're supposed to look like. I know what they can do. You know, and you come up not on your game, I'm going to tell you you're not on your game. You know.
Yeah. And Mahab's.
Yes, I agree with that too. Yeah,
I do too.
I don't like seeing the judges get hammered. I know.
No.
When I was in Austin, I waited till maybe like they were about ready to call the winners, and then me and Rose started getting drinks, because we thought that same thing. Like, that's not fair to anybody.
Yeah,
have those
because of
beer
that
goggles
particular
on, you know?
there
Yeah.
was quite
Yeah,
a lot, there was a lot of drinking too.
Yeah, you won't be you will not be on the Big Whiskers panel. If I know
I
you're going to be
can't
drunk.
do it. Like,
You know, a cocktail or two is one thing.
right.
Falling asleep on the judge's stand, that don't work.
Mm-mm.
We've all put in too much work and too much time and too much money to be disrespectful.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know,
Amen.
Yep. You pay a lot to travel to go. You pay,
Yeah.
well, it's a lot of money. Yeah. So
you know, very seldom you ever see me drink at a comp period. If I'm competing, if I'm emceeing, if I'm judging, you know, I just don't. Now, as soon as it's over, I'm hammering. You know, it's just that that's the spot I don't drink.
Like, I'm catching up.
Yeah, you know, I'll catch you real quick. You know,
You see a lot of people buying alcohol for the judges.
yes, and I think that's what does it too.
Yeah, I can't drink
Right.
alcohol. So, I mean, you could caffeinate me, I guess, but
Bring you some coffee.
but you know, I think that's an important too. Everybody wants to be friendly to the judges and give them something, and that's part of the fun of it too, especially like Summer was talking about when you've got this whole, like, it's more than just the beard, it's the whole persona of the part.
My favorite part about the Whiskerina is that they give you shit every time. You walk away with all kinds of cool stuff. Like, hey, look at all this shit I got. All the dudes can do is buy you a drink, you know.
Yeah, and I can't drink, so let me just tell you, it's not going to work.
So everybody go into You Matters. I hope you're listening. Do not buy Tisha a alcoholic beverage, but bring her treats. She will
5-hour energy drinks.
She will not be swayed by treats because she's a professional, but she would not mind.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like, I just don't want anybody to think that I'm gonna give them points. Like,
yeah, bribery doesn't really get you anywhere other than thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to get like, I want to have a beverage to sip on, but I'm not gonna get like, I just can't. Like, you have to look at them, and then you have to be able to read their name and write the numbers.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Even when you're sober, you're going to figure out who in the hell's this one. And one thing that, I mean, this is off the subject a little bit, is what I highly recommend at a competition is when people come to register, the same person writes down everybody's names. Don't have the individuals do it because you can't read our handwriting half the time. So when the judge is up there trying to read these cards, they can't read them, you know. Now with ours, it's all done on the computer right away. You know, our guy does. He's a big IT dude. But, you know, it's just, I've emceed places where they've handed me the sheet. I'm going, who the hell are these people? You know? So you find somebody that's good registry, can write and write their names legibly so you can read the daggone things.
Right. I agree.
I just saw that comment about what's better, more judges or less. Now, by Alliance standards, if you have 5 judges, you keep all the numbers. But if you have 7 or more, you get rid of the top and the bottom scores. So maybe that plays into it.
I've seen some like, well, You Matters are only going to have 3. So it just depends on
the size of the comp, you know, how many people you think are going to be there and how hard it is. You know, 5 is about the max. We do 6 because we do a celebrity, which is like one of the big sponsors, you know, or something that's on the group. And our guy doing the scores after about the 3rd round, he looks at me and goes, we're not counting him anymore. You know, he just gave everybody 10s. He's done, you know, but you still let him do it anyway, you know, because he thinks he's involved, you know. But
well, one of the things I've been pushing, I would like to push with the Alliance, is that we do have a template that people can go from that would have a suggested look for these things in a beard, like we were talking about, not making sure, I mean, the not supported by hands, that's already in there, but other things of qualities that one wants to look for, because I think that in the greater beard community, we get the discussion about favoritism. And I think that comes from people feeling that they're not being judged fairly, but then it's like, well,
that's
what
kind of
is
what makes
fair?
it scary to even be a judge is people are going to accuse you of that no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think what would help things honest is if we had to hold up their score just right then, you know, for everybody to see. and then we're not, nobody's accused of anything, because I've heard that go on for years and years and years. That's why it's almost scary to be a judge. So if we were accountable right then and there, I think that would solve a lot of problems.
You're in St. Louis, and the problem I have with that is you've got, even if you have five people in that category, right? And you go with the theory that one gets a 10, one gets a 9.5, 1 9, and then after that, whatever. Well, I haven't really looked at each one individually yet.
You haven't seen the whole.
Right. I'm just saying, like, after that person walks by, everybody hold up their score, then, it's all out on the table. You can't score your friend better. You can't, you know what I mean? Then there's no issue.
So I wouldn't mind it, but I want to make sure I can look at everyone individually before I score them as a group. And St. Louis, they do that.
Like he was saying, he starts judging them in the line, and then, it's like with Whiskerina especially, it's like, oh, that wasn't what I thought that was at all when they get up close on you,
Right,
so you need
to get an idea what it's going to be like.
Yeah, you need it.
My problem with the paddles, there's two little ones. It's number one is there's too much room for mistakes because you're holding up your deal. Someone else is writing that down, right? Now, there's not a hard copy of what I've done, so you can't go back and look and say, oh, wait a minute, he gave him a 9, I wrote down an 8.
Take a photo.
That's one. But second one, the most important to me is, who won the category, so they're all going home. They don't stay. That's like when they give the trophies at the end of each category. By the last category of the night, most of the people are gone. When we do ours, the bar gives us the room because they make money off of the bar. So if all the people are leaving, the bar is losing money. You want to keep them all there.
That's a fair consideration. Yeah.
And that's my personal opinion, because who won. You already looked and think, well, hell, okay, I came in, I didn't place nothing. I'm out of here. There's no reason to stay,
See, I always think there's positives and negatives to everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like to do it the way Courtney says, they would have to do like the walkthrough so that you could kind of pre-place them up close. Because I don't want to put like, what if this person comes up and, man, I think this is great. Let me give them a 10. And then somebody else comes up and I'm like, damn, it's thick. I wish I'd have gave him the 10 and him the 9.5.
Yeah, I want to see each one individually.
So many notes
before I mark them down what they are.
Maybe like a parade first and then individually or something like that.
So like I have to write it down. I have to I'm the slowest freaking judge. But I really respect what these people are doing. They're coming up and we're really putting ourselves out there to be judged. Who really wants to be judged? So I think it's our job to do the best that we can for them.
And it takes guts to even walk up there. I don't go lower than 7. That's mine. I don't give anybody lower than a 7 because you took the guts to walk up there. You made the beard, whatever you're doing. That's just my, I don't know. Yeah. I won't go past that.
If it's the one, if they're doing the 110, the 9.5, and the 9, everybody else gets an 8.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And people ask, what place I came in? You came in 4th. Did you come in the top 3? No, you came in 4th. You had 4th place.
That's really.
We'll post, a couple days later, what everybody's scores were, and then again, I don't like that either. Especially the other thing with the paddles, I don't like. There's a new cat that's never done this before, and all of a sudden he gets a 7 or a 6. He's all depressed. Like, dude, I don't know if I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I don't think there's a real need to score somebody really low unless they have done something so very disrespectful or so very wrong that you feel you need to punish them. But otherwise, if you showed up and you tried, 7 at least.
Yeah. There should never be a less than a 5 to begin with. There shouldn't even be that number. Those lower numbers shouldn't be on the score sheet. They should be 5 and up. We were at a competition years ago, and my wife, who doesn't compete very often at all, and this is right after I had my mustache ripped out. She put both of them. I still had it, so she had both mustaches, and she said they had them taped on. She was wearing them, and that was her surgically, implanted mustaches. Now, these were not real judges. All right. These were celebrity idiot judges. And they thought it was funny to give a 6 and a 9 to make 69. They thought that was cute, you know. Well, they gave her a 1. This guy did. And I was sitting next to him. There was 2 of us that were real judges, and I wasn't very happy.
Hell no, I lost some shit.
Yeah, it got. I didn't get ugly. A couple other guys got ugly with the guy later. You know, I'm respectful. I know better. You know, but the other couple dies, and he just thought it was funny because that's your wife. You want to give her a 1. Dude, that ain't funny. There's only 2 in the category to begin with. There was 2 people. You know, that's not funny. You know, and it really hurt her. You know, and she's like, I'm never going to do this again. Like, yeah, you know.
You don't like mark somebody down. I don't like if you know that you're going to be judging your spouse, your significant other, your family member, if you can't look at or your ex, whatever, if you can't look at that facial hair and judge that, then recuse yourself. Period.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, there's no, you should be able to judge anybody the same. You know, but this guy thought it was cute. He didn't know what it was all about. He thought it was cute. You know, he was a local celebrity dude, and he thought it was funny. You know, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all.
Well, I know, like when Jeff goes into category, I excuse myself and have the other judge or whoever come because I don't want to be accused of anything. Like, oh, you just scored him better because he's your husband or whatever. It's like, no, I'll just back out of that one and come back after this category.
I think that's fair versus you scoring him down because it's not fair that
right, exactly. So either way, it's not fair to him, you know. So right. Yeah.
I mean, I would just score that beard versus all the rest of the beards.
Yep, like it should be.
Take their eyes, you have to take all of that out of it and just. I know what you're saying, but yeah, no, I just. I'm going to judge your face, your beard. You know what I mean? And I don't really care who you are. And I don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings either. But
well, and that's just it. I mean, if you do it long enough and you know, and you know, but I hear all these things after and I'm like, man, I don't want anybody to ever accuse me of anything bad. So I'll just excuse myself on that one.
No.
Now, as judges, what do you feel about people who come to you after competition and ask, what could I have done better? Or do you just wish people would leave you the hell alone?
Leave me the hell alone.
Leave me alone.
Same.
I'm going to tell you. Well, dude, your beard looked like shit today.
I know.
What am I going to tell you? You know, sorry. Like, I mean, if I really know the person, and I'll tell them, dude, you weren't on point, man. You know, your staff, especially the stash guys, dude, you weren't on point.
Right.
The symmetrics wasn't there. You know, you were bent. You weren't right. You know, I mean, and I'll tell them, but preferably I hate when they ask. You know,
I do too.
Home, man.
Yeah,
I take my hand and say thank you for judging.
Advantage of
you know.
Like,
yep.
Well, we're a little over our time.
Just a little.
It's been fun. And as Fab said, I think we'll probably have to do a part 2, 3, 4, 7, 10
I know.
on this one. So thank you. A big thank you to Courtney, Phil, Andrew for coming on tonight.
Anytime.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for even thinking of me. It makes me feel so good every time.
And so it's, happy. What did you call it? Blue Monday?
It's Blue Monday.
Canadian holiday.
No, Phil, like we can act up and we have a legitimate excuse. It's Blue Monday. So
I don't need an excuse. I just act up whenever. That's a nice thing about when you get to be my age. You just don't give a shit anymore. What are you going to do? Beat me up? I don't care.
So
you got my bigger people than you, so okay.
Want to encourage everyone to go out there to beardcalendar.com and see what bearding events are in your area or way across the United States from you, so you can make a trip out of it. And then just my plug, I'd really love to see all your smiling faces this weekend and get some great hugs if you want to come out to the LaGrange, Texas area for the You Matter Too competition. So, and you can let me judge you judgingly. I guess.
And Andrew, when are you judging and where? That's coming up fast.
Summer and I, 2 weeks from now,
Okay.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to Cali again. Y'all want to go to Alcatraz?
There you go.
By the bay.
Hope they don't keep you.
No, I booked a tour to go to Alcatraz. Yes.
Nice.
It's cool.
I'm excited. So yeah.
And so with that, I guess we will all say good night. And thanks to everybody watching. Write down those questions and we'll follow it up with some more wonderful judges. And with that, to all a good night.
Good night, eh?